Hello guys and welcome back to Field of Glory Empires with our playthrough as Saba, our first ever playthrough. It's been going pretty well for us down here in this little corner. We've been steadily conquering Arabia from Arabia among other independents, starting to border some big superpowers that are scary. We just took over one such location just very recently and there's almost nothing here. We just took this over, probably took a slave, sent it somewhere else, almost certainly. Doesn't look too great here, but we have to get someone on infrastructure if we're going to build anything. It's set to have no growth at the moment, but that's probably... it's in large part because we have an army sitting here. I guess we might just like build nothing there and be happy about it. I want to take a palisade as soon as I can get it since we border Arabia in general. It's going to be rough with this one. It's going to be rough because the underpacification bonus is going to hurt it. The sooner we get growth there, honestly, the better. We did recently just buy some slaves, and I know like this location over here got a slave, and I know this because, well, we didn't have a volcanic slave here, and now all of a sudden we have a building slot. It's because we got a slave. So we can build something here. We could build a building that gives loyalty. For example, a fortune teller to make up for that. That would certainly be good, you know. Unhappy slave, well, here's a building that gives loyalty. Could also give money, but we're missing drugs and herbs to make that better. I think I'll put that there. That's a nice building. We also finished a wheel maker here, but we can't do anything else with it at the moment. There's a new population up here, but they're building. A stud has been finished over here, adding food to the entire region. That is always, always good. An anchorage over here would be great. Ooh, but a palisade. Every time I see a palisade, it's so hard for me to say no to it. Now that we conquered this, we want to move somewhere else where we can maintain some better amounts of food, such as just like one step down. Even Arabia Orientalis, honestly, is not that well off in that way. I'm going to take my elephants and we're going to move down here. This is like the best port in the region. Oh, we also have a new pop here due to our healthcare. We have a lot of stuff into food. Oh my god. It's like hardly even necessary at this point. We have so much food. It spreads throughout the region, I guess. But Jesus Christ. It's a lot of food. That's a lot of guys on food. They could certainly be spread out. It's just we have so much sharing of stuff. We could get regional roads here, and that doesn't even take a slot. We have 2 slots available, though. I'd like to get the roads. 0 slot usage. Commerce, trade range. I mean, that just sounds good all around. Yeah, dude, give me the roads. Doesn't add to infrastructure at all, but that's fine. Yeah, I'll take that. That sounds very nice. I like that. One more turn till the brickworks at our capital is done. That seems good to me. We have this now at Arabia Orientalis. I know at the last episode I was talking about adding maybe even more cavalry because the cavalry could use potential supporters as well. Either more cavalry or skirmishers. I already have enough skirmishers that there's like kind of a backup. Skirmishers are the most like versatile things I could have there. I guess more cavalry would mean backup for the biggest possible battles, and even then 2 more cavalry might not be enough anyway, realistically. Like, it might actually need to just be 4 for those circumstances. I think I will probably decide on using the skirmishing cavalry because they're just so versatile, these cameleers, because their stats are already so high. The flanking modifier buffs them up to being equivalent, essentially, almost to heavy cavalry anyway. And since they're skirmishers, they get extra defense bonuses when they are attacked. So that's pretty, when they're going to take damage at all, actually. So that's just really good. And their ranged attack is pretty decent as well. They got a 6 ranged attack. Skirmishers have a 5 ranged attack. So that might mean they might actually be better supporting units. I don't know, but this is dedicated a supporting unit. Well, okay, no, I guess support units can only support. I guess, well, no, they're dedicated supporting. That's right. Other units can have support values even if they're not the best for it. I don't know. I'm thinking about it, but backups are always good. Probably just go with more cameleers at that point. I have a lot of cameleers by the time all that's done. The inflating money costs right now, I mean, it's not really that big of a deal to me. It could be a lot worse. It could be a heck of a lot worse. Money's just that one thing we have a ton of, so it's fine. This unit, these guys right here, my new Arabia Orientalis group, they're going to go over to Badeo, the northernmost location where I trust our food supplies to hold, and just kind of be ready on that border, just like our Saracen force is going to be ready. These guys are moving down here just to take from this food as well, and to potentially consider an invasion going down here. Just get them as far down as they can. Maybe we can make it in one turn. I don't know. This, again, is like the best port we have, so the cost is the lowest to embark here, and that's kind of the reason why I am looking at that. I will also add 2 more Arabic Cameleers to get that group up to 22. That seems pretty good. 2 more Arabic Cameleers. It's going to be 60 per to get them up to that. The desert is the only time we ever need more than 6 cavalry. If we even need 6, I think we do. 4, it might have been 4, I don't know. But yeah, we're gonna add 2 more Arabic Cameleers, get these numbers up to 22, and eventually we're gonna need some for this Saracen group. We'll just get them from the Saracen location here. I might save up to just get 6 like all at once. Not really sure. I guess we'll see. I might just start with 2 and just throw them in here, and then just kind of let that go with what they have, just to kind of save. The manpower, again, is just the hardest thing. Let's see. We have a proposal with you guys. Palmyra did not accept our cooperation. It's at 24% now. So let's go ahead and propose that treaty. With Moria, still at 18%. Propose that again. We haven't had any luck getting these cooperation treaties. We keep getting the bad rolls. The bad rolls, unfortunately. But we'll try to get what cooperation we can. Look at these guys up here. A client state. Funny. Client states of the Seleucids actually like me a fair bit, which is interesting. That's all the buildings that we can build for right now. Manpower, still our biggest limiter, so metal is starting to kind of go down, but it's so high that I don't really care. Manpower is just the main thing that's making me pace it out. We're going for bigger armies now instead of like getting a 4th army and a navy. I mean, that could just wait until we have access to more metal. That needs manpower as well, so that's just like a whole nother problem. I'm trying to make bigger, better armies that can now kind of maintain this. The fronts won't be any wider for a very long time anyway. If I did successfully get these 3 things, I might be able to make the province. I'm not sure. And I wouldn't really need to defend them, because they're bordered by Ethiopia, my ally. So, I don't know. We're going to go ahead and just end turn, though, because there's not much else for me to do on this turn. Well, we already have another progress token. We might just be infinitely in this gold status, potentially. Me and Macedonia both at this point. Rome's also a glorious empire now, if they already been. Hey, I got cooperation with Blemmies. Awesome. That just makes us like each other, I think, really. Slave status and freeman laws. Augment productivity or reduce unrest from slaves. Free some slaves. I've been waiting for something like this to pop up. So this is a pretty versatile event. I can improve slaves' rights and make slaves happier, like permanently, with a chance. But it would hurt loyalty and commerce in slave market locations. I could reduce their rights to gain money, make them unhappier, and get more productivity out of them for a little bit. I can potentially free them to get rid of unrest, or to just, free them and make them normal citizens at some expense of loyalty in places that have a slave market, and at a loyalty bonus for those that don't. Or I could incite slaves to revolt in foreign locations that border me. And I think that's what Arabia's been doing to me, honestly. That costs money. I'm going to do the freedman laws. Any unrest we will fix. Any not unrest, there you go. And that's perfect. That's exactly what I need to start churning slaves into being normal populations. And that's what I can use money into kind of building up my nation even more. Money or manpower. See, no, we spend it on population, and that's just like a net gain. We finished the anchorage up here, and we still have a ton of slots available that we can build. Our slots, our options here are not the best, honestly. Maybe the smokehouse is the best. Food and health. Yeah, food and health on the smokehouse. We'll build the smokehouse up here, but it might take a hot minute. It might take a hot minute for sure. But we got a progress token. If we're going to free some slaves, I kind of don't mind buying some more already. Our money's just doing amazing anyway, so Buy slaves from the slave markets. Sure, let's just say that we do that for right now. Manpower generation is looking not very happy at this moment. So more manpower would definitely be nice. More population would help me build stuff. Yep. Tools manufacturing has been completed over here. That took no slots. We still only have one slot, though I can add a guard tower here. This also takes no slots. How much we need it is questionable, but I do like having garrisons. This will delete itself at population 12 or higher. It's actually about to have 12 population or higher, so building that would actually be quite worthless. I'm going to take an herbalist at Mephonite right here. Health and manpower. Health will help population grow. We don't actually have positive health here, it seems. So that will help population grow, and manpower, because we're negative on manpower generation now. That will be done pretty quickly. We did finish our brickworks over here, so that's good. We can build something else. Decadence is starting to accumulate to higher amounts. That's not amazing. Reduction in manpower cost by 20% conditional. That's interesting. That's probably just upfront only. Yeah, that's just upfront manpower costs. I could also get a large warehouse. 0 slot usage is an upgrade of the warehouse I already built. It would use manpower and money for massive, massive infrastructure bonuses. For this location, that might actually be a really good idea. That manpower cost would be kind of brutal, though. We could also get the scriptorium here, which would add a fuck ton of culture. That's rough. 0 slot usage things are always very attractive. And then there's a furnace here for metal, but look, right now we actually have positive metal, so that's rough. I don't want to lose 3 manpower, but this is the place that would need it, if anywhere. So it would also take a while to build. I'll do it, yeah. We'll put that in the capital. That's going to take a while to build. Over here in, I can't say these names, but there's a guard tower built. That's good. That's progress. I like that. Move this guy off money. Put him on infrastructure, honestly. We don't need that money. We need another building here. I think the stud would be probably the best thing. That or the salt house needs salt. Can be imported pretty easily. Food and health is always good. Bigger infrastructure costs than just getting a stud. Similar build times. Producing horses is a nice thing. Yeah, this is new. We're going to just get the horses building. That should hopefully do well enough. I hope. Nothing else that we can build anywhere. These guys are chilling. We got the 2 Arabic Cameliers. That is for this group here. We can get down here in 1 turn. We can go ahead and try a naval invasion for the first time ever. 1 turn. I think I will definitely like to try that. And I can chase after them with this army. See if we conquer this, because I think if we get all 3 of these, we can actually get the province. I don't think 2 is enough to form a province ever, but I think 3 might be. Maybe 4 is what you need. I'm not sure. Regardless, even if we can't form the province, this is really out of the way, and we wouldn't need to defend it, and it might help me open trade with my ally. And if they ever have a rebellion in one of these places, which who knows if they ever will, who knows? Like, that could be great. Maybe I could also at some point just ask them, like, for specifically Ankober, right? Oh, that's interesting. They have a chance to just give me that already. 7% chance. But I would probably offer them a bunch of money. And hell, look at that. It actually... oh my gosh. They would actually be very, very willing. They'd be very, very willing to do that. Even for what to me is very small amounts of money. So if I do need more stuff to actually get the full province built, I mean, I could just buy the entire rest of the province from them. Now, a lot of this is conditional on their survival, and Egypt has been blazing a trail, kicking their fucking ass in. So we'll see, right? We'll see how that goes. But definitely, I think I'm going to try to conquer this while we're still at peace with Arabia. It's a way to expand in the meantime, use these elephants, potentially have them die and replace them with better things, who knows. We're not building any new units right now. I have a 52% chance to get an alliance with Blemis. Because I'm stronger, because they're small, because we're special, because we already have allies, for some reason that helps. And our leader, and they're overstretched in a war currently. Now, this wouldn't bring me into the war, because it's already going on. But, you know, since Egypt, we're going to have to fight Egypt eventually, no matter what. Just looking at all this, we will. They're beating up our friends. I guess that part doesn't matter. But, like, we have to go through one of these, and Egypt might be one of the easier ones to go through. Maybe not by the time we get to it, but they're also not friends with a lot of the others that would like me. So, like the Antigonids. They hate the Antigonids. They hate Macedonia, and they hate... not Moria. But those are the guys that would like me. So yeah, I'll try to get an alliance with Blemmies. That could be good. I'll offer them an alliance. It would potentially expand our influence. And we may end up purchasing one of these things from Ethiopia eventually. I might, like, even if I can form the province down here, I still might want to do that, honestly. But I'll probably wait to see if I can form it or not. And then we'll start offering them a bunch of money for it, seeing how that goes. No other building locations that I can do anything with. We do still have growth. I think the food consumption's not too bad there. No manpower to build anything else means those guys are going to have to wait to get anything special for themselves. And so that would bring an end to this turn. All right, so we've sailed down. It looked pretty sweet. The Cameliers did not adapt. They'll adapt later. We've sailed down here to this place, and there's not a lot defending it. Let's go ahead and begin skirmishing. Very exhausted, the enemies. Our elephants fighting their warriors on the front. We killed one. Killed the skirmisher. Yeah, I mean, the skirmishers don't really stand a chance on the front. Our Cameliers hurting their militia and Abyssinian archers in the rear. I think Abyssinian archers are a form of skirmishers. I don't really know the difference between like a skirmisher and an archer here anyway. Might just be a special thing. Imagine that would probably be a special unit for this location. Kill the skirmishers like that, and back there, kill those skirmishers. Yeah, all that's left is the warrior, and it's fucking dead. What a surprise. And we conquered that location. So we can probably get the rest of this unimpeded. Ethiopia is very distracted right now by fighting Egypt, and at some point I could maybe throw money at them. I remember when Ethiopia had the most money on the map. I'm still losing ranking here in my culture decadence, which is not good. We need to stay in the green spot. Hey, cool. We signed a trade deal with Moria, which it's our cooperation, basically. But this, I think, will enable trade. Palmyra rejected my deal. Slaves conquered Apamene, which was the seat of power of Palmyra. Oh my god, they had a slave rebellion and lost their capital. That's brutal. We conquered Abula. We conquered the food. There's a lot of food here that's going to add up. We need to get something building here. And anchorage would be a good thing to have here for sure. Just conquered. Debuffs are not the greatest. Speaking of debuffs, we have a debuff on our regular infantry. Only the regular infantry. The next spot has 12 units defending it. Then 13. I'm nervous to sit here just consuming the fuck out of all this food. Especially while it's going to be growing. But there's enough food here that it shouldn't be the worst. What does the unit queue look like down here? Does it look like anything special? Not yet, it doesn't. But maybe it will once things are actually getting built. So that should be fine. The Freedman Law has been signed. We received a progress token. We were raided up here again, but we repelled the raid. And unfortunately, this was raided and some plundering happened, sadly. But it means it won't get raided anymore for a little bit. We got another citizen up here. Might have been a freed slave, for example. I will move you down to infrastructure so we could just get that stuff building faster. And we were raided here and it didn't go too well either. We're building stuff just by sharing. We're barely positive on food. It's very hard to be positive on food when you're under pacification and you've been raided. Man, even the Seleucids are having like slave rebellions. Our manpower generation is improving, but you know, we have a kind of a countdown here. This is down to 5 turns. Oh my gosh. A countdown that's going to consume even more manpower. We need to really get more manpower just in general, whether that be from population or from other things. Here you go. Here's something. No slot usage. A major harbor gives 2 manpower, some money, and would just, you know, make this better in general. Where is this? Okay, it's a place where we have a normal harbor. Yeah, we definitely want that. Boarding costs reduce. It looks pretty good to me. Yeah. I will definitely take a major harbor here. Those are very good to build. Speaking of, we got that noble district finally built down here. That adds decadence, but it adds massive amounts of loyalty, which is good, because loyalty has always been pretty bad here for some reason. I'm going to move one of these citizens down to infrastructure, because looks like it could use it. We're missing culture bonuses for that, but the loyalty bonus will be pretty sweet. We have 3 slots available, probably because that thing took so long to build. We could get a fuck ton of culture from a worship palace and another loyalty bonus, which would be pretty awesome. Or go for the herbalist at health bonus manpower. I think we need a couple things, actually. We need a couple things. Also, the warehouse. Wow, there's a lot of good options here. There's a lot of good options. It's honestly hard to say which one we should get at this point. I'm going to value the manpower more, so let's get the herbalist built. We're going to get the herbalist built. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. Yes, sir. Nothing else really to change in that case anywhere else. We're just going to sit put, sit tight, and recover that unit. I want you to go down there and join up with them so that you can help them in the battles to come. And that looks pretty good to me. No room to really build or do anything special. I have cooperation with the Marians now. I only have a 12% chance at an alliance with them. Why is that? We're at war. Allies are always welcome. Relationship, we're not neighbors, is just basically that we're not close to each other. I don't know about I think our relationship is just not very high is the whole reason why. But yeah, I'm basically picking Egypt and Seleucids as like my opponents, potentially Macedon and Antigonids as friends. Past that, let's try cooperation with Palmyra again. Palmyra is kind of friendly with the Antigonids, so that could be handy. And the Seleucids are just doing kind of bad against, you know, Maria in general. So that's another thing that's like pretty good about that. Look at all the stuff Maria's taken from them. Honestly, the Seleucids are a sad, like, look at the Antigonids pushed in here as well. Yeah, the Antigonids or the Seleucids are a very sad shell of their former selves. And that is just really good for us. Right now they're at war with Arachosia, Elymas, Maria, and Medea. Gotcha. Even though they have a scary army, they would actually be easier to go up against. Maybe easier than Egypt at this point. I think, you know, Egypt's kind of like forced, right? Yeah, maybe. But Seleucids would be better. So I'll try to get the alliance with Maria so we could have them as friends. But, you know, 12% chance versus like a 52% chance over there. Trying to get what friends we can. I don't know if I want Palmyra as an ally in the long run, because I plan to, like, I could push through the Seleucids. I could. My intention is to push through Egypt, but I'm only focusing really where I am right now, so we'll see how that all progresses. In total pop at this point, we're number 6. That's kind of crazy. We're number 6. Only Rome, Maria, Egypt, and the Antigonids are ahead of us. Seleucids are below us, which shows their decline for sure. And if we sort by that land power, we're still the highest. Antigonids catching up. Maria behind them. Then Egypt and Seleucids. Yeah, they're pretty far down. So Seleucids are actually a lot weaker now than even Egypt is. So that's kind of interesting. Maybe Seleucids wouldn't be a terrible target after Arabia's finished, or even, you know, before that. But actually, how's that going? I haven't checked in on that in a little bit. We have peace for 4 more turns. We're kind of maintaining units near the border, but not at the border due to food availability. Yeah, so we're kind of leave that be for now, I suppose. It takes a lot. It takes a whole damn lot just to make food up here in places where we don't have food in Saracen. Even in places that don't really have a lot of debuffs. This place could really use some more infrastructure, so we're going to move some infrastructure down. Try to speed that up a little bit. I do wonder, these 2 citizens that are here now, what if I moved them onto infrastructure? Doesn't affect growth very much or infrastructure very much, but you know, infrastructure is more important specifically here than food is anyway. Food is shared. The other places are generally focusing food over infrastructure as a result due to its special nature. That all looks pretty good to me. So I think we're ready to go into 234 BC and see what is to come. Looks like we've gone up 2 rankings here in our culture decadence. Remember, it is also kind of relative, so we don't even need to improve very much. So we got an alliance with Blemies, so that's good. That'll make Egypt hate us more. We got the slave markets back. Let's use that to distribute and disperse slaves available. Citizenship status and state reforms. We definitely do want some of this. There's a lot of debuffs if you go for a major conversion, but a minor conversion is just pretty good. 10% chance of converting someone per commerce and government building in a region. We have a lot of foreigners, so minor citizenship grant to foreigners, I want that. Blemmies renowned for their piety. You have chosen your friends well. Okay. Ethiopia approved of my alliance. Blemmies likes me a lot more now. It's funny, because they don't actually like each other, so that's kind of weird. But hey, sure, whatever. We're still proposing stuff with Palmyra, and now with Moria. Nothing else really changing there. And we saw invasion local forces crush the invaders. They keep trying to raid me, those fuckers. And how'd you recover? Effectiveness 1 of 2. Not terrible. Not terrible. And food is growing. Pops here quite rapidly. Okay. Guaranteed growth just conquered. I wait one more turn and we'll be back at full effectiveness on this regular infantry. However, I don't know. I'm tempted to just kind of push it anyway. I could wait to be cautious, but I'm tempted to push it anyway. Right now, our manpower finally got back to being positive. It will go right back to being negative in short order, however, potentially. There's a new population over here, though, which is nice. And this is also in this region. That's good. Let's go ahead and see what we can build. We have 1 slot to build things with, and there's nothing here that is slotless. The gymnasium would add health at the cost of infrastructure. But it would also give us 5 manpower. We know how important that is now. I'll take the gymnasium here. The gymnasium's pretty important. Yeah, that'll take a slot. We still have 1 slot down here in Adramite, this former enemy capital. We could get a major harbor here for 0 slot usage. That seems like a no-brainer if there's nothing else that's a no-brainer. Yeah, dude, major harbor. That's more manpower, money, no slot usage, just improving what's already there. Looks good to me. Hell yeah, I'll take that. And I don't think anything else has really changed. We did disperse some slaves. There's a slot here, maybe due to conversion or slave dispersion. Jesus Christ. Did we disperse slaves yet, actually? No, we didn't. So that has yet to come. This still has a slot over here that we are not utilizing. And nothing here is slotless, unfortunately. The gambling ring adds decadence that I don't really want. Loyalty would be nice, however. Producing fish would be very useful for food. Eventually for money if we get access to sales somehow. Could also add a wheel maker instead. We only have the 1 slot to work with. So we kind of have to work based on that in mind. Producing fish would be nice, potentially as a trade good. I kind of don't mind the idea of that. Sure, let's go ahead and get that. Why not? We have like all these slaves here. Some of them might be dispersed in a turn or so, but otherwise... Oh, hey, there's a building slot over here now. Right there. Damn, there's a double no-brainer. City walls or a major harbor. That's actually a brutal choice. The city walls barely ever come up, but the major harbor would be very useful given the location of this thing. That's rough, buddy. This is fairly safe, to be fair. This is really safe. So I'm going to prioritize the major harbor. More manpower is going to be very, very useful for getting up to what I want to get this stuff up to. Certainly. So yeah, I'll take that. We have some construction that's going to finish next turn. No manpower to make anything. Waiting to hear stuff back. Got a new ally, but that's all we have time for this episode. So for now, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.